This is some interesting rainbow. I actually see an interesting white body, but it's white, and then it goes like in all shades of blue, from lighter to a little bit darker towards the feet. And you walk through like a rainbow type portal, but the rainbow is all blue. It leads to the galaxy Andromeda. You just started dictating in my mind because I connected with you and I touched it's you. And I see you go back and forth, and it's like 6 and 11th dimension. That so you've been through all the levels in this galaxy, but the one you don't want to go to is the 3rd one because it's taken over. And I see it's taken over by the they look like crocodiles, but then mostly it's like reptilian crocodile hybrids. I see them a lot. It's like that green color, kind of the darkish green, swampy color. They're pretty short, thick tails. That. And I'm asking you how the whole story started. And you say that you just like watching how the energies evolve in the universe, because what happens, you're showing me they're basically different platforms of, I call them platforms of creation, and I go to one, but you show me different ones, and they're rather small. They're all connected, and you're on this one, and in a group of people, which actually has a lot of your family members in it. I get a number 8 of them, and you're the one who's an observer of creation. That's what you say. So when the plan is in place and every soul gives a little bit of tiny percent, 2 to 3% of its energy to this particular creation, because you're co-creating something like a planet or a star, and then it's like a little seed of that has all the energies inside, shoots to the spot that was identified on it's like a computer screen, but it's glass, very thin, transparent. It's like paper thin, absolutely transparent, and kind of like there's a map, like a hologram, and it comes out of the screen, and you can pinpoint where would be the best place for a star or a planet to evolve, to contribute to the overall frequency of the universe and the flow of energy of the universe, because it kind of flows in a spiral motion and it's round. There's no obstructions to it, no obstacles, and it's like a river flow, constant from the center outwards. And you just open a portal for yourself from that platform, and I see how you step down. It almost looks like you create steps in your head and they just show up. But when I look from my perspective, it's more like a flow of spiraling energy, composed of circles of energy, and you walk through that kind of short tunnel in the portal. It's like blue. It's pretty. First like dark and then lighter. And you were observing. I see you like a ball of energy observing the earth from the beginning. And that was interesting, just that, but you didn't want to incarnate there, really. I mean here, because I'm looking from your point of view. You were just curious to document. It's like you're a universal historian. That's what you told me. You like documenting things and rather in organized matter, and then creating like a story, like a book, and contributing to something that others can read and absorb, and then based on this information can create something better. But then you saw like the whole everything, how it was done, how the Atlantis, the fall of it. You saw Lemuria, and you're still pointing at me, look, Lemuria exists, it's just in fifth dimension. And there's a lot of places existing in fifth dimension, but they want to go higher because it's become rather dangerous in that dimension too. It's too close to the fourth, where all the entities are. And you're just basically showing me everything. You say that at some point, one of your 8, it's actually your husband that will want to incarnate into. His first incarnation is an incarnation of a horse. I clearly see a horse. A brown horse on some ranch. Just running around, just enjoying the sun and everything. It's like in Texas somewhere. Just open place, grass everywhere. House out of nowhere. Not too many houses, I see only 3 next to it, and that's it. And you liked how it was, like for him to be a horse like that, and you wanted to experience that also. So I kind of went after him. You were like a deer, I see like a little baby deer in the woods. And then I see the sea. It's almost like you're standing in the middle of a forest, and the forest surface, like the surface around you, all of a sudden I see a circle being created, and then a crack at the surface level, and then the whole round, it's like a platform, it goes down all the way. All of a sudden it just collapses, goes through. And I see like those kind of like ant-looking people. They have like heads of ants, and they put like an energy net over you. It's like a soul capturing team. That's what you told me in my head right now. I think they capture animals and just try to incarnate a soul, use a soul for energy or something else. And they have different wormholes. It's like a trap. It's like a holographic trap of some sort, because what you see at the surface was not. I mean, it can't like a lead going to underground, but the appearance was as it was part of the forest, but it wasn't. And they just, from that's when the interference happens. There's 6 of them around you, and they put you in some sort of, it's kind of like a room that looks like a cave, very dark, you get scared, and then they incarnate your soul from there. And actually they don't split it up, they don't do any of this. like aliens would normally do. This are, they say they're from the dark African tribe. And they were pushed away by the other tribes. But it was a long time ago. It was a really long time ago. Because they were from, they're basically wormholes all around the, it's like a black sun, and that's where they came from. But the wormholes there, as I see them, are connected to the second universe. The second universe are, that's where the entities from second dimension reside. So basically they go through. It's interesting how I see it. So it's like the black sun is like a black hole, like a big portal. The black portal gives birth to little portals, which are wormholes, and they're all around us, like in dotted motion, like this, also in a spiral, kind of. And they can come through the big one or through small ones. Looks like it depends on the location also, which universe they come. But anyway, so I see the 108. No, those are the 6 are the big ones. So 102 wives, and this is the 102nd for you. And the 6 of them are just programs from different, it's like they have a database of different lives, but in your case, it's like they wrote different scenarios based on different lives and put it as if you had 108 lives. 108 lives, but 6 of them are not yours, just totally fake. And there's a way to do it. There's just programs going in. It's like software, really. And most of the time, well, I just don't know which one. You could ask your subconscious which life. I see a cellular right away. New Zealand. On a boat. Catching fish. It's like a wife, intuitive voice, waiting for you. And there is a storm. And they're just like, it's like an octopus monster thingy. I see like, I see dishes in company. Sorry, I'm just, tentacles. There's one of the tentacles just kind of grabbing you around your left leg and pulling you down, so it's really not the storm pool. And from that, it's like trauma was created of the drowning water, because it literally takes you to his, it's like there is a cave that goes through, and that octopus, it's really not the octopus. It's like a drone control device to get people from the surface. And energetically, he was able to do that to you because you were scared of the storm and you were in the middle of the sea, so you didn't know how to get back, and the boat is small, just like a small personal boat, literally. You weren't like with anybody, just by yourself. And because you lowered your vibration to, this low, he was able to kind of get, it was like at the same level was this creature who was controlling the drone, the octopus. Because octopus is absolutely like a toy. Just shell controlled, remote controlled. And I see some humanoids in capes walking. It's like underneath the ocean floor. There's just like cave system, and there's like a big door into the room. There's like a big room, like a cave slash room, and that's where I see. I'm trying to see their faces. It's like people with kind of like dragon slash fish faces. Yeah, like those just like Chinese looking dragons with that fish, and I don't know how to just that one particular with the whiskers like this. It's like a bottom fish type thing. It's like fish people that call themselves. And the interesting part is the cave goes into the city. I see the city. The city has, it's like you're walking to some sort of vacuum thing. There's no water there, there's air. They breathe air. And there are roads, there are buildings. The buildings somewhere like in a spiral motion, resembling those cone shells. And then the basically interesting part is that they somehow push those ant people out of your energy sphere. They basically force them to trade you, because they are gone, and the ones right now I just see dragons basically. I think dragons are connected, because this is kind of like a twisted story, because it goes from it happens sometimes, in this situation happened the same way. They basically were stronger than those ant people, and they took control over, and they pushed them out, so they couldn't stay in your energy sphere anymore. So basically you were connected. There is an energy connection to that underwater city and to those humanoids. I mean, they look so strange. I mean, it's like cone-like face with a very thin long eyes, and the shape of the face goes like 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's kind of like layers, and it's very triangular thing. It almost looks like a horse face. I don't know. It's just the closest I can describe. But the skin is kind of like bluish, glowing, with a little bit of scales on it, but they're translucent. And that's why it gives the impression that it's kind of glowing, a reflecting. So, what is it? Because they're standing in your energy sphere right now. You hold for them. And all those lives, you never really found your partner in co-creation, which is your husband, but he rather found you in this life. So I understand. It shows up that he was in the second life also, but you were both it's like parts of the air, because I see the atmosphere, and I see like the literally part of the air moving in. People don't see that way, but I see the air kind of like dissected into parts, and your two parts, and you're interacting with each other like this, creating like one full thing and separate. And that was the life. And there was something related to the water manipulation that it was connected with those and people. I think they're closely working with grays. Looks like there's part of their DNA is gray also. They look much like them, but they're black color. Look like ants, black ants. So you're looking at those. There's only 2 of them. And you're asking, what is your contract? And the contract is a shell. There's a bigger one who brings it, and he kind of looks like a water snake. He's a contract keeper, and he brings a shell with a pearl inside. And you just touch. They open it up. You touch the pearl, and it turns into like a folded, like a scroll paper scroll. It's kind of old looking, yellowish. So whatever observations you have in life, whatever you put together, according to this contract, you share with them all your experience and knowledge, all your, see, it's like you can read energies all around you in the environment around you, not only people, but you almost feel like where you feel the places you go to, you feel which place is more energetically charged up, which place you don't want to go because it's a place of negativity. There's different also energy nods or ley lines and everything you just kind of feel. You know, you're one of those people whom you can ask, like, which spot is the best to build a house, and you would know, because that's what you do. That's just like your soul's main characteristic, I guess, because you like to observe how energy shape shift into some creation that they were programmed for, and that's what they've been using you for all this 1 or 2 lives that I see, to do just that, because for them as creatures of like they are AI creatures, so they can't have experiences like you do, and they have to build up new kind of, this particular creature who brought that contract, he's the one, I feel, who puts together lives, the captured souls that they have, and pre-program them for certain lives, even though the souls can change in the process, you know, the circumstances, but they try to influence them so the main ones stay on track. And that's the only contract. I don't see the other ones as those. They think it was the end still, you didn't, you know. They just completely made them, they were pushed out. The one thing I see though, there's like dots. There are dots all over your body. Looking at the energy body, checking for implants. And I see like there are dots surrounding your body, and there are little chains connect in between. There's all like, it almost looks like a Christmas tree. There's no things on the dots are like the ornaments, which is really weird. What is it for? For holding your energy, not letting you expand. Because the dots are fixed, and they are actually kind of like the implants, but they're in the shape of a sphere, spherical, and there's like 28 of them. So I'm telling you that you can, telling your subconscious, your soul, just you can take them out by yourself. Ask these creatures, or you can like burn them inside yourself and transform them, or do whatever you want.
And how do I do that?
I'm talking. See, I see you
Yes.
Right now I don't see your physical, I see your energy body. I'm just telling so you understand, what I tell to your subconscious.
Yes.
Or let's say the future, if somebody tries to get to you, so you understand how to do all this stuff. And you just take them out, all 28. See, the interesting thing is like the chains go throughout, and they're just because you're so your energy production, it's like a waterfall. It's a constant production of energy, and it's ever expanding, and they want to keep it constricted throughout the life. So they put those chains around, so to keep it, to create borders, artificial borders, right, of the energy. And you take them out, and with them there's just kind of like the energy circles, which are like artificial chakra overlays. They're stuck on those chains also, because when they crisscross, those chakra overlays are on them also. And those overlays are created artificially. And the whole concept of chakra created artificially, because you don't have to dissect the energy body into fragments. I mean, we're all like one energy, and it's supposed to flow like in perfect motion as one piece. There was those alien groups rather created those implants for everybody, as they say, oh, seven energy, chakras and stuff. And to give themselves, those are like points of access to each part of our energy body to drain energy from us. If we're not supposed to have them, so we just took them out also. And I show you that you can just draw as you think that portal and open it and put everything in. So I see you doing that. You just you drew a door, a portal, and just put all the implants in there. There's one thing. There is like there are implants in the ears also, and in the eyes. And in the eyes are more like lenses. In the ears more like little tiny microphones you touch here, so it just kind of looks like that, but they have little tiny two wires going into kind of, it's almost like a spying system on you, because it also listens to your thoughts, and it can stop thoughts. It can stop those inner voice thoughts that come from your subconscious, and I can interfere with that process. You wouldn't hear it, you would rather hear your mind more, and they can control this process through those implants. So imagine you go through situations in life and they document it. They can see the situations through your eyes, and they can hear it through your ears, and they document how you react to each situation and what other variations can possibly happen in this particular situation if, let's say, it's a different soul that with different characteristics you put through it and they're interested in it. It's almost like a Akashi records, but it belongs to this group, and they're very ancient. I feel like this fish people are very ancient. They come from Lemurian times, but they're more like malevolent type beings. And they wanted technology, they wanted knowledge, and they never really got it. So, and they're trying to get it from people now by capturing souls or by trading them, taking them one way or another. So you take those little ones, little microphones, really microscopic, from your ears, and the lenses from your eyes. And yeah, with the wires going in. So you're holding them now, just opening another portal and throw them in.
On my 102 previous lives, was I a woman all of those, or a man, or did I do anything spectacular?
Yeah, you're predominantly woman in those. And but there are a lot of men lives too. The most I can ask what life you like the most.
Yes, please.
Nature, like I see Malaysia, and I see like you're in nature. There's life in Costa Rica too that you liked. I see like a house, and you're like a teacher then, but more like a literature teacher because I see you reading books to kids, and it's kind of interesting. It's not really a school, but it's something that there are houses in a circle motion, and the kids go from house to house, and whoever knows how to he has some knowledge to share. That's what they would do, and it's you know it's like 18th century. That's what I see. That you like that life a lot, and I just see like a group of 8 or 9 kids, and you would read books to them, and you would actually I see you at the table writing the stories also and illustrating them by yourself. And then you would read those books. I mean, they're very interesting, like the paper. It's almost like paper is locally made because it looks like somebody just dried out a leaf, laminated it or whatever. I don't know how the, but the texture feels very interesting. Like when I touch it, it's almost like a bark of a tree. But you're drawing on it with some kind of interesting thingy. It looks like a pencil, but it's like a rock with the sharpened angle at the bottom, and it draws like a kind of like a black pen, but it's not. It's some sort of like black blue type thing, like something from the tree, some juice from the tree that hardens, and then you use it for drawing. Because it's like black and white drawing. It's like colorful. Even though sometimes you can add color, because I see you using some fruit for color, like food extract. You dry them, and then you make powder out of them, like papaya, and then you add like drops of water and mix it. And it's a very concentrated color you can dip your little brush into. It's like you have cats around in your house, and you just take like a tiny bit of their hair and you make a brush, and it's just like you color that stuff. It was different. There is a fruit, I don't even know what it is. It's kind of like it looks like beets, but it's on the tree. It got spikes in it, like one of those tropical fruit. That gives color too, from the seeds inside. And you like that. You love that nature. You love creating things with your hands and making up stories in your mind and just kind of using your imagination to I see you cutting like a type of fruit salad or something in the wooden bowls and giving it to kids. In this life you didn't have kids, but you really liked making other kids happy, so it was just like a happy life that you enjoyed giving to them all your love. because I just see your house like filled with all those cats. Oh, funny cats, big ones. See the black and then white ones. It almost look like foxes of some sort. It's just different. Yeah, it's mostly related to nature that you like, the animals, the lives that you liked. Because you connect easily, that's kind of your vibrational level. Then you resonate with them better than with people. So, even though, I mean, you have no problem communicating with people, but you'd rather be in nature and absorbing and talk to the leaves, to the plants, and everything. You even talk to the fruit like you would ask their permission to pick them before you take them from the tree. So interesting. Yeah, it's like you're always connected to this tribal idea of existence, and the timeline that you're showing me right now, it's kind of like you want to manifest that for yourself. When people live more like in nature and groups and having gardens around and things like that, and just trading everything. Your subconscious is just showing me like on the screen. That's what would be ideal for you because you would enjoy that kind of trading. Which we're moving towards it, but there's still stages to pass towards that one, and it's a gradual way of doing it. So you're I see you kind of burning. Interesting. You put like you created with your mind. You manifested like rocks, and the rocks is they're kind of like you set them on fire in a way, but it's not fire, it's just steam coming, and you put the contract in there, and it's kind of burning, melting on those rocks in your energy sphere. That's what you're doing with the contract. So you're throwing it out when it's done. Just fast forward it until it's done. Just throw that out, and you ask those three of them, two of those fish people, and one is the one who holds the who brought you the contract. They just all left in the portal also. And I see you by yourself now in the energy sphere. You see the so the soul, the DNA. You get like 1.8% of that fish people DNA. I think it just happened because they were trying to somehow manipulate, mutate your DNA so they could possibly, at some point, in some other future lives, use your body and walk into your body and act as if it was you. But, like create a perfect, genetically compatible shell for themselves or vehicle to be used in third/fourth dimension for themselves, something like this. But they never really succeeded because it's kind of hard. Your DNA looks like it's like it's really, it twists and then goes like this. It twists and goes like this. I mean, it's not like what they show us how it looks. It has segments of that, and then spirals and goes again like this. It's like two different colors. There's yellow, there is this blue, and this blue is like that rainbow that I saw before you were coming. That's pretty much how your body looks. You know how it goes like your energy body? It's transparent white, and then goes into light pastel blue, transparent white pastel blue, and then it interchanges, and then your head looks light blue, and then goes adjust your energy just like that. Kind of like stripes, blue and white, but it's very, I mean, they merge into each other, so it's kind of pretty.
Does my energy appear to be fifth dimensional?
See, you're showing me those lives in 6 and 11th dimensions, like in the beginning of the session, and you like those dimensions the most. So you're saying that you are going to be energetically connected to that. But when the artificial layer of that holographic reality, AI powered reality, is cracks up and falls apart, dissimulates. Basically, I see it, okay, it's gonna crack into pieces, and those pieces are gonna self-destruct because more and more people are waking up, and the energies are just too strong, and that artificially created platform or hard disk we're on, it just is going to be destructed. I mean, it cannot function anymore. We're like a virus now of the system in a way, and the system cannot eliminate 100% of the virus. And so, and those are the ones who woke up. They're very strong virus in their computer system, basically. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna go to the platform of our original selves, and our original selves are all in different dimensions. So that's how I see it. It's like, yeah, the fifth dimension is really not that. It's gonna be composed of different dimensions merged. That's how I see it. So there's gonna be people in 6, 7s, and 8s, and all kind of together held here because of our physical bodies. It's just as simple as that. Our body's kind of holding us, but once the bodies are gone, whenever we decide we're done with this life, we'll automatically go to the dimensions. It's either in our galaxies or outside of this universe. It depends where you want to go. Or, we can go to our very much original home, which some call the source. I just call it create platforms of creation. I mean, you can call it whatever. I just see it that way, because there's also a false source, which is like a computer connected to this universe and installed. It's like they installed the moon for control, Saturn, and the same way they installed a fake source in this universe also, and that source kind of like projects. So if you expect to see your guides and all that, if you believe that after the death of the physical you would go into this program that is projected onto you by this quantum computer or fake source that is present in this universe. So you would have a meeting, live review, and all this, but the thing is, it's like they artificially insert you into a movie program, into a fake story thing. Or if you expect to see Jesus on the throne, he would appear. That would be a different programmed holographic reality, virtual reality. For you, that would feel very real, but they would get you reincarnate again and again until you lose all those beliefs and understand that all this game created by the AI and malevolent alien species to deceive us into this game over and over again. Because in reality, when we got here, we knew everything. We just don't need to learn. We only gain experience of different planets, different galaxies, different universes. Whenever we incarnate, it's all for the experience, for the story, basically. And that's what makes it interesting. As if we were creating a computer game, each time it would be a different game with different variations, and we send a little spark of ourselves into the avatar body we create on the screen on the button of creation, and we are curious how it's going to go through all the events we create for ourselves. So it depends at what level of consciousness people are and how they look at all this, how they see the whole thing. So they would experience whatever level of understanding of consciousness they are at. They would experience the reality in the physical and after the physical death also. I don't know why I'm saying this. I guess because your subconscious wants me to voice it. So you just change your DNA back to original. So yeah, it's back to original, and it's glowing. It's glowing with this kind of pastel blue light. Interesting, because the strands look more like transparent light, and the spirals are another blue. And you're showing me 5 and 5 by hand like this, which you created like 55 strands. And you said like, I can create more if I wanted to use in this reality whatever I want. But I also told you that you can cleanse you can remove the programs from your mental and emotional bodies, and you created like a cloud with it seems like rain, but looks like round beads, energy beads that are going onto through your mental and emotional bodies and pushing everything down, like every single program, whatever's being recorded and played over and over throughout the life. We have these programs, they come from our parents, from school, from teachers, from everybody, and once we believe in them as truths, we accept them as a program. And then we just have to reprogram ourselves once we understand that this belief doesn't belong to you. It was adapted, accepted from others. So you did that. I actually do see your husband now. It looks like a big ball with bright yellow energy, with the golden on the sides, like an oil. I see the connection. He's still connected. He's connected to you. And that's why he was kind of standing and hovering around and watching. He says he's just like type of waiting. And you said to him that he doesn't need to wait because you always can connect telepathically. It doesn't need to be an energetic connection. You're stuck in here. Because, let me touch him. There's something there I can't pinpoint. There's some dots. I touched it and he's like in some sort of barrel. It's kind of like a metallic one, but it becomes transparent, so I couldn't really see it. But I did see his yellow essence, and basically it's stuck on the edge on the outside of his energy sphere, like his soul, right on the membrane of that little ball, energy ball. Um, so some frog people from Venus that are inserted in onto him. He said from some wife, and he's a zoologist and something, obsessed with frogs, whatever they got attached to him, and they never left him all his life. He's showing his, like, he's got like a leash on his neck. You're giving him information how to get rid of it. So he's like, he unbuckles the leash and he puts those frogs. It's like a human body with a frog face. And it's actually skin color too. It's a little darker than white. That's how they look. With red eyes though. Pretty scary looking creatures. Like demonic almost. He pushes them in the portal. Throws out their leash. It's basically he had like some kind of like implant looking rope type thing on his back, like wrapping around his spinal cord, and then he took that one out and the leash. And he said, well, I'm ready to zoom, to run away. And he said, yeah, you can run away. We can find each other. See, that you kind of know each other's energy pattern, and you come from the same galaxy anyway, so it's easy for you to find each other because you're pretty much similar. They're very similar. There's only a little percent that is different. It's about like 30% difference in the way you feel. It's pretty soft. He's energetically soft, but he can create determination himself. And he can be very much like going through anything to achieve his goal. So he's just going. Yeah, I see him. He went to some. First, he was in between the planets there, and then he created like a little planet for himself in a bubble of protection. He says, that's my observation center. Just kind of hang out here for a while. And then decide, it's like in invisible mode, he is. Because he remembered his creative powers, and he's a creator, and that's what it is. So, but he pulled away from all the energy ties he had with some little objects, things like that, like his favorite little things. Also, so he was not only attached to you, but also to some object as his three main ones that he liked. So he pulled that connection away. That's why he set himself free that way. That's it. Just, yeah, if you have any other questions.
No, I don't. Thank you, Bill.
Sure. Okay, I'll just let you. Yeah. Interesting. It's your curiosity kind of brought you here. Because I usually see people, souls are grabbed and captured and forced for this. It's basically you kind of came rather by yourself. Because you were curious too. Are you the same like in your life too? Like curious about things?
Yes. And I do make make things for kids and children and give it to them, and it does make me happy to do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice. That's interesting.
yes, very.
Yeah, because it always fits. It always matches the
It does.
person's. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just so appreciate your time and
Thanks.
your expertise.
Thank you. Yeah, it was nice. It was very interesting. Thanks. I'm gonna turn off the recording.